I didn't force her to do anything against her will. I'm innocent.
Just when we as sports fans come to the realization that athletes are just as human because of their injuries, the reality strikes harder when we see the same athletes misusing their power and engaging in sexual harassment or sexual abuse. The power dynamics make it increasingly difficult to draw judgments, but sometimes it's important to separate the art from the artist. Are you listening, Kobe Bryant? Well, on that note, let's take a look at 5 such NBA stars who were accused of sexual harassment in their careers. Starting with number 5 on the list is Derrick Rose, where he, as a brand new Knicks player, was part of a civil trial to assess whether he and 2 of his other friends had raped a former girlfriend of his, where the unnamed anonymous woman sued him for $21 million in damages. According to the New York Times, the defendants trespassed in the woman's Los Angeles apartment and raped her while she was incapacitated early one morning during the summer of 2013. To add more insult to the situation, it was also reported that Derrick Rose had difficulty in understanding the word consent. Well, we guessed some players are only good at dribbling a ball. The incident happened in August 2013 and had several gross details, which allegedly involved Rose asking the anonymous Jane Doe to perform sexual acts on him and his friend. She was intoxicated, drugged, and raped in her apartment, and she was covered in lubricant, felt sick, and was in pain the next day when she woke up. Damn. The end of the story, Rose was cleared of any liability by an 8-member jury, and not much was heard from anyone about this after that. Which quickly brings us to number 4, where we have Chauncey Billups. The current coach of the Portland Trail Blazers has a troubled past of his own. You see, in 1997, Chauncey Billups and Ron Mercer were accused of sexually assaulting a woman at the home of Antoine Walker, and the event is disturbing on 2 levels. The first being the act itself, and second being that despite under no duty to stop the alleged gang rape, Walker didn't do anything while the said act was going on to stop it. As per Sports Illustrated, Doe allegedly blacked out during the attack, waking on November 10th in bed with one of Walker's friends, naked amid used condoms and condom wrappers littered across the floor. She then quickly called a friend, saying something bad happened. And while Billups was never formally charged, he was, however, part of a civil suit which was later settled, and his appointment at the time by the Portland Trail Blazers raised a lot of questions, and rightly so. And that brings us to the number 3 spot on this list, featuring the former Golden State Warriors player, Monte Ellis. Now, his story begins during his time at the Warriors, when a then employee of the organization, as per sources, a woman named Erica Ross Smith, had accused Ellis of sending suggestive text to her and at least one photo of his privates. According to Bleacher Report, the harassment allegedly started in November of 2010 and continued for several months. The same source also talks about how Smith accused the organization of trying to sweep the incident under the rug, and the Warriors organization responded by changing her job description and ultimately firing her. While the lawsuit was later settled out of court and Ellis was eventually traded to the Milwaukee Bucks, this incident left a big question mark on how big franchises deal with sexual harassment and protect the well-being of their employees. Now, before we move to the top 2 spots on this infamous list, we would just love it if you could like this video and, more importantly, hit that subscribe button to join our growing community and hit the bell icon to receive notifications for whenever we upload new content. Now, quickly moving to number 2, we have another former Golden State Warriors player, Anthony Lamb, who was also an NBA G League champion in 2022. As for the allegations against him, well, in 2021, he was accused of sexual assault during his time at the University of Vermont, where it was reported that he engaged in unconsensual anal sex with a female student there and didn't stop despite her repeatedly saying no, as per the reports and revelations. That is just disgusting. As per NBC Sports, the accusations were first reported in April 2021 through an Instagram account called Share Your Story UVM, where Lamb was accused of sexual assault in 2 different posts. It is unclear if the posts are related. The then GM of the Warriors, Bob Myers, just 2 days after signing Anthony Lamb to a contract, addressed his situation and said that they have been extremely careful while looking at the case, and it was something that they took very seriously. But it all boiled down to them ultimately looking at what the law had done. Well, you are innocent until proven guilty, and we guess that is exactly what happened here. Which finally brings us to number 1, and this isn't a shocker as much as it is a gross whitewashing of a fallen legend. And yes, you know where this is going because we are going to talk about Kobe Bryant. The shocking case, which involved residing at the Lodge and Spa at Cordillera, where it was later reported by one of the hotel employees that Bryant had raped her, and Bryant continued to assert his innocence, despite there being 3 stains of the victim's blood on Bryant's t-shirt from the night of the incident. An extensive civil case saw an out-of-court settlement after the accuser refused to testify, reasons of which remain unknown, but it can be assumed that it was the hate mail, death threats, the leaking of her identity, and questioning her moral character, which included her roommate saying that the accuser was gonna overdose on sleeping pills. Nevertheless, Bryant apologized publicly, and the LA Times reported the amount of the settlement to be around a whopping $2.5 million. But even then, in the eyes of multiple NBA fans, Bryant had lost his respect. And sadly enough, his recent tragic demise probably couldn't shake off the damage either. And on that note, we come to the end of this video. Do make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more such interesting content around the NBA. And hit the bell icon to instantly know about the content we post on our channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.